Hello guys and gals, I'm Nick and welcome to 30's Feedback. We're finally at the 10th and final episode of House of the Dragon Season 1, so let's see what went down in the finale. The scales seemed tipped against House of the Dragon when the Game of Thrones spin-off first swooped onto our screens. Such was the backlash against the dreadful final season of Thrones, there were grounds for worrying that the viewing public had gone cold turkey on fire-breathing lizards. Plus, it was up against Amazon's $1 billion Middle-earth epic, Lord of the Rings of Power. In this struggle between dragons and hobbits, it was far from clear which would claim the spoils. But with its series finale, House of the Dragon has emphatically seized the crown. It has taken Thrones' ultra-violent and oversexed formula and amped it up to an eye-popping pantomime of vengeance, gore, and platinum wigs. If you have the stomach, the farewell installment was particularly grisly, it has proved irresistible. All of House of the Dragon's strengths and few of its flaws were front and centre as the show signed off. A second season is already in production if you didn't know. The previous week, Alicent Hightower and her scheming father Otto had manoeuvred Alicent's degenerate son Aegon onto the Iron Throne. And so, the gauntlet had been thrown down to Princess Rhaenyra, usurped heir to the Seven Kingdoms. Rhaenyra and her husband/uncle Daemon weren't taking this humiliation lying down. From their fortress in Dragonstone, they called a Grand War Council and ran tallies of potential allies. Amid the military brainstorming, there was time too for a horrific depiction of Rhaenyra's miscarriage, a sequel of sorts to the instantly notorious stillbirth scene from episode 1. This verged on unwatchable and arguably strayed into sadism. It was another reminder of the George R.R. Martin's universe's suspiciously punishing attitude towards women. While the Thrones franchise has outgrown its early obsession with sexual violence, it appears to have struck upon a new way of making female characters suffer. House of the Dragon felt on firmer ground when unpacking the toxicity of the Rhaenyra-Daemon relationship. Matt Smith has excelled from the very first episode playing Daemon as a psychotic charmer. It turns out that he's also an abusive spouse, as we discovered when he choked Rhaenyra for having her own ideas on how to proceed with the war against Alicent. The Game of Thrones spin-off has clocked up stellar ratings and impressed critics. That's in contrast to the lamentable Rings of Power, which, if generating plenty of coverage for Amazon, has tumbled faster than a hobbit falling down a well. But if Dragon is to remain on top, it will need to make changes. In particular, it will have to address the distracting time jumps that have bedeviled its first season, and which involve the swapping out of several key cast members. There were signs here that it may already have learned that lesson. The finale took up the thread directly from the events of the previous installment. In Dragonstone, Princess Rhaenys and her husband Sir Corlys Velaryon pledged their allegiance to Rhaenyra, but there were tensions between Rhaenyra and Prince Daemon, who felt he should be running the show. He potentially had a point. Rhaenyra's impulsiveness has been a matter of record throughout the series. She erred once again by sending her wet behind the ears teenage son Lucerys south to firm up an alliance. Waiting for him was Alicent's cocky scion Aemond Targaryen with his one eye and his gigantic dragon Vhagar. After Aemond's new wife Maris taunts him, the Green Dragon Rider chases after Lucerys. The problem was, Vhagar goes rogue, and he kills Lucerys and his dragon Arrax in the process. To add insult to injury, Aemond locates Lucerys' corpse and removes both eyes before presenting them as a gift to Maris. As a result of his brutality, Aemond is known henceforth as Aemond the Kinslayer. The reality of this death will cause that Kingslayer title to take on a tragic nature. While Aemond's intentions were far from good, death was seemingly never on the agenda. Now, it's perhaps the inciting incident in the Dance of the Dragons. Despite their best intentions, the Greens and the Black are now at war, and Rhaenyra's look at the end of the episode without saying a single word of dialogue says it all. Shit is about to go down. Who will be left when it's all said and done? What a great finale to the show. The only disappointment now is we have to wait a while for the second season. What did you guys think of the finale and the entire show in general? Are you looking forward to the civil war which is coming? Let me know below.